Hey folks, I'm Jack Fossett, and welcome to this demo of the Gretsch 6120t Limited Edition 59 Hollowbody Electric Guitar. This is an exceptional Gretsch guitar. I've recently got into Gretsch guitars. For those of you that follow me, I got my first Gretsch over the summer. Well, I got my first couple of Gretsches last winter and spring, which were acoustic guitars. And I was really impressed with the quality of those, and I'd really been wanting to try Gretsch guitars, but every time I picked one up in a store, I just wasn't connecting with it, and because it's different, it's very different than your typical Gibson Fender sound and feel, and even just the fact that it's this big and it feels more like, physically feels more like you're playing an acoustic guitar, and what the tone is and everything. But anytime I saw them, I thought, boy, they just look magnificent. And anytime I heard them, I thought they sound magnificent. So I got to try this out. So I traded a bunch of stuff in at one point, and I ordered a 5420 Electromatic, which I've done a demo of. It's a Fairlane blue, really beautiful guitar. I could not believe how much I liked it. I decided to just take the plunge. I thought, worst comes to worst, I'll bring you all a demo, and then, maybe I'll either return it if I don't like it or trade it for another guitar or something. I could not believe how much I liked it. And so then my wife got me this for my birthday. We found out that we were having another baby, and this was kind of a special, thing for that and everything. She collaborated with Chicago Music Exchange. This came from Edward at Chicago Music Exchange. This is just stunning in multiple ways. It has the ebony fingerboard with the kind of thumb inlays, and that I never realized, I read in the literature, is for a reason. It's so that you get the feeling of the silky smooth ebony under your fingers instead of the feeling of like the pearl of the inlays. I love the mix of gold and chrome. I think that's kind of a cool Gretsch thing. You've got the gold pickup rings with the chrome covers, and they've got a cream top underneath, chrome here, but then you also have the gold lettering. There's something about that mix that really works. Particularly also you have up here, you have these vintage style tuners with the open gears on the back. As you can see, it also has the cattle noggin on the headstock. It has the rocker bridge, this kind of beautiful, sort of sleek-looking bar rocker bridge. Of course, has the Bigsby tremolo, has the tortoise Chet Atkins pickguard, has a classic V-shaped neck. Now, V-shaped necks are not traditionally my favorite, but it really suits this guitar. And, I don't need every single neck to be exactly the same. Different necks and different neck shapes kind of suit different purposes. And I tend to like a big baseball bat neck, but, one of my very favorite guitars is my Sunburst Les Paul, and that has a 60s slim taper neck. So, Now, this has dual Ray Butts Filtertron pickups, and one of the interesting things, this is kind of new, and for those of you that don't know how this works, so these are volumes for each pickup. This is a master volume. This is your pickup selector, and this is your tone selector. So in the middle you have wide open. This is very bright. So generally I leave it on my favorite setting, which is forward, and that's with the tone rolled back a little. Now all the way up, and that's like jazz territory. That's with the tone really rolled off. So you just heard at the beginning I flipped through a little bit. I'll flip through a little bit more, but for the most part I really like to keep it on that front setting. It just rolls a little top off, and this is, again, very bright guitar if you want it to be. Now that can be super useful, particularly if you're in a big band setting and you really want to cut through the mix. That middle setting, boy, this is, gets a lot brighter and much more clarity than you'd ever get from a Gibson, or, even sonically sits different than a Fender. It just has this real crystal clear, bright shimmer to it. So that's definitely got its use. It just, when you're just kind of playing the guitar or, recording or whatnot, I found it a little bit bright. So I really like it there. And then even back here, and I'll do this a little later too, back here really works well on the bridge pickup with some overdrive. It's like if you kind of get on the neck pickup and you have it up here, again, it's real nice kind of jazz territory, maybe a silky blues sort of lead. But if you push it here, if you get the other way around, if you get this in the kind of the less tone position, and then you use the bridge pickup and then really kind of drive it, that's kind of makes me think of Malcolm Young and some nice AC/DC tones. So this is it. This is a stunning guitar. This is one of the made in Japan. They're handmade in Japan, and it's a deep cherry stain. It's just a stunning guitar. It's kind of it's definitely a crown jewel guitar, and I'm really, really thrilled to have this one and to play it, and boy does it turn heads. In fact, that's a really cool thing about Gretsches in general. Since I started playing them, I played out this summer, and I actually had a lady come up to me between sets. I had brought my 5420 and a Telecaster, and I'd been playing the Telecaster, and she had just arrived and came up to me after we finished a set and said, "Could you play the next set on that pretty guitar there?" So they're definitely head turners. I think people don't tend to see them as often as you see your typical Gibson or Fender, and they're just so stunning looking that if you haven't given Gretsch a chance, give them a chance. I'm really, really glad that I did. I'm Jack Fossett. Let me know what you think of this guitar. Let me know what you think of Gretsch guitars in general. Again, this is a limited edition 6120t 59 reissue. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.